Steve, thank you. We are less than a month away from Election Day, and early voting in Missouri and Illinois is underway. Tonight, the first in our series Election Check, we go behind the scenes of early voting and examine security in counties all across the St. Louis area. Our Caroline Hecker starts in St. Charles County, where a record number of people are registered to vote.
Dozens of voting machines and hundreds of ballot boxes fill the warehouse at the St. Charles County election headquarters. Much of it in preparation for Election Day. But just feet away, absentee voting is already underway. Lisa Crayon lives in Weldon Spring and decided to vote early because she'll be out of town on Election Day.
We want to go down and check on our home in Fort Myers. So we decided to vote early, which came up like yesterday.
For the last 2 weeks, absentee voting has been underway, but the county says far fewer people are voting early this year compared to 2020.
I find it very convenient out here. It's always been an easy process.
St. Charles County election officials hope it stays that way after the county reports 300,000 people are registered to vote, a record high.
We have 4 locations where the election judges can go.
Kurt Barr is the director of elections in St. Charles County. He says with a record number of registered voters and a likely 75% turnout, a secure election is critical. That meant security improvements leading up to this year.
We now have a large customer service wall with a locking door, so all the ballots are behind that space, so only the election judges have access. We've also worked on improving security in the front end of our office with a vestibule with customer service windows and a locked door.
Barr says the county is seeing a sharp decline in the number of mail-in ballots requested this year compared to 2020.
All these blue trays are the space where we hold our absentee ballots by mail.
Missouri law requires absentee ballots be counted on Election Day. Until then, Barr says, they sit in these blue bins untouched.
The advantage for us now is by keeping all of the mail in the space as soon as it's received. Once the ballots come back here, they're never moved.
Ballots cast in-person absentee remain inside the voting machines until Election Day, like those cast by voters today.
It is very important to me. Yes, I want my voice heard. I don't want to be mixed up with some kind of fraud but I've always felt good out here with that.
With all the rhetoric that's going around, in the country, and you hear about possible election fraud, I think it's very important, and I trust here in St. Charles County that that won't be an issue. I think there's processes in place, and I feel comfortable with my ballot.
When it comes to voting equipment,
we always maintain a bipartisan presence before we go into the area,
meaning no one is allowed to enter this secure area alone. Once the polls close on election night and ballots are counted,
and then they will seal this box, showing that this box is untampered.
The ballots stay in these boxes unless a recount is requested. Barr says he welcomes the public to a hand count audit and verification board meeting, both taking place after Election Day.
We look at every polling place's results, the number of voters who checked in, the number of ballots that were counted, and those results, and we make sure that that all matches up, that the number of ballots counted and the number of voters who present themselves matches.
With the election mere weeks away, voters say a lot is on the line.
I think they've been watching things that are affecting them personally around them. There's a lot of chatter about it.
Not to get political, but with what happened, in 2020, I think people are definitely wanting to get out and, have their voice heard.
Registered voters across the county will receive a sample ballot in the mail beginning next week. In St. Charles County, Caroline Hecker, First Alert 4.